Hi, everybody. I am going to show you today how to make this cute little milk box that I decorated as a gingerbread house this year. So this is just for the basic box. You can decorate it however you want. It does fit the November paper pumpkin, the little house cutouts on it. So you can decorate them with that, or you can use whatever stamps and embellishments that you happen to have lying around. So you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a trimmer. Optionally, you can use a scoreboard as well. You can use your trimmer for most of it, but it is easier to use a scoreboard, I find. You'll need some cinnamon cider or any other brown cardstock. You'll need some kind of ribbon, or I'm going to tell you a different way that you can do it. And you're going to need some strong adhesive. So you're going to want your Stampin' Seal Plus or your tear and tape. I'm going to use Stampin' Seal Plus today because I like the tape runner. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your sheet of cardstock and you're going to cut it down to 10 by 5 and by 7 and 5/8. So I'm just going to cut an inch off of this side to make that one 10. And then I'm going to cut this way to 7 and 5/8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 right there. And we'll cut that off. I don't need those pieces, so you can save them for something else. Now I'm going to put my trimmer away. Again, this part you could totally do with your trimmer as well. I just like using my scoreboard. So I'm going to put my cardstock on my scoreboard and pull out my scoring tool. Now I'm just using the scoring tip of my Take Your Pick tool. The scoreboard does come with a scoring tool as well. I just have managed to lose it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to score along this way. So we're going to go to 2 and 3/8. So that's on this one, that's 1, 2, 3, little notches there, 2 and 3/8 there. Now we're going to go to 4 and 3/4, 7 and 1/8, and 9 and a half. Then we're going to give this whole thing a 90-degree turn, just like this. And then we're going to go to 2 and 3/8 again. Then we're going to go to 5 and 5/8. And last but not least, we're going to go to 7 and 1/8. So that's actually all of the scoring done. Now I just need to find some scissors, which surprisingly is harder than I thought it would be. Let me see where I put them. I should have been a little bit more prepared. Oh, there we go. We'll use these ones. Oh, I found all kinds of things in here. Aha, there. We'll use these ones. These are my paper snips. Okay, so now we are going to do a little bit of trimming. Let me just bring my pattern up here so I do it right. All right, so on the edge with the short little piece here, this is really just a tab for adhering. I'm going to cut off this bottom big piece. And then this one here, I'm going to cut at an angle. And that's just so that you don't have to be super, super precise when you put things together. They're a little bit more forgiving when you cut these angles. I'm also going to cut an angle on both sides here. And then at the top, this little square is going to get cut off, and again with an angle. Now this one I'm actually going to cut straight because this one is going to show. So we're going to cut like that. All right, and then we're going to do very similar along the bottom. So that's the edge that doesn't have this short little tab here. All we're going to do is we're going to cut each of these flaps with an angle, just like that. So these are going to make up the bottom of our box. So all of these are going to get a little bit of an angle. And that's, again, just so that we can be a little bit more forgiving when we're gluing this all together. And then last but not least, this one here. Now along the top, we want the box to actually be able to create that gable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my scoreboard back and I'm going to mark the center of a couple of these. Now what I actually did for this that made my life a little bit easier is I took one of the little houses, and you can do this just by measuring too, but I just took one of the little houses and I used the point to actually measure that. So the side that's opposite your little tabs here, you're going to mark the center of that one there. And then you're going to skip one and do the same thing over here. You're just going to mark the center. Because now what you're going to do, you could just cut those sections out, but if you want this like fancy little gable to work, then you'll need to actually score these. So I'm going to cut out my little V there and here. And then with the scoreboard again, you could use an angled board for this, but we don't have that available anymore. So I'm going to show you how to do this kind of the manual way. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it on this, put your score tool just on this little X, and then make sure that that's lined up in a groove. Once that's lined up in a groove, you're going to turn this until that V lines up with the same groove and then score it. And you're going to do that the same on this other side. This other side, it's actually easier because you can actually just see where it lines up. I think that's not, there we go, that's the same groove, I think. Oops, nope, that wasn't the same groove. I need to go over one more. So we're going to score that, and then we're going to do the same thing on this one here. So kind of wiggle it over until it's in a groove, line it up, and score it. Same thing here, wiggle it over into a groove, line it up. Oh, that one isn't the right one. We need one more over. There we go. Okay, so now we are done all of our scoring and cutting. This is what your piece is going to look like. So what we're going to do now is we're going to assemble all of this. So again, with your strong adhesive, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend all of these and I'm going to make sure that they're burnished. Get those nice crisp edges. The ones on the top here are all going to fold that way. This is going to make our little milk flap at the top. These ones are all turning that way. And these ones are going to turn like this. Oh, and these ones here are going to turn this way. All right, and now these ones in the middle, this one again is easy. You can just flap that over. And then for this one, you actually have to kind of bend everything up to burnish that. And then same thing with these ones here. You're gonna have to bend everything up to burnish those. But I find that doing this burnishing makes the whole assembly so much easier because then everything will just kind of fold the way it needs to. So first we're going to put some tape on these tabs and we're going to kind of assemble side to side. Oh, I went over the edge of the tab there, that's okay. Just fold it back. There we go. All right. And then I'm just going to fold this in half, making sure that these line up with the tabs. Just like that. And then this will actually pop up and start forming the box. I'm going to do the bottom first. And what I like to do with this is I'm going to take the opposite tabs and I'm going to glue on the inside of both of them. No, I should have done the inside of one and the outside of the other. Derp. Okay, let's do it. Let's try this again. I'm going to do the inside of this one and the outside of this one. So then what I can do is I can fold this one down and this one on top. And both are going to line up. And I want to make sure that my box is nice and square. There we go. I'm going to set that down and poke it down. Okay, now these ones will just glue down like that. All right, now these are gonna fold in, and again, because you've already burnished them, they're gonna fold in nicely. You don't need a lot of encouragement. Now you could glue this shut, or what I like to do is I like to tie it shut so that you can open it, fill it after the fact, and you'll still be able to close it again and it'll still look pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hole punch, and this is just an old Crocodile. Um, and I did at some point mark this with a pencil when I did it. Let's see if I can find a pencil. There it is. And I'm just going to hold my thumb kind of in the middle and put a pencil dot on either side so it's mostly centered. It doesn't have to be exact. The big thing is you want to have these all lined up so that when you punch, and you have to go in at a bit of an angle, otherwise it will not work. You can punch through the whole thing where your pencil mark is and everything will line up. So we've got our holes punched there. And then all you have to do is take a length of ribbon, put it through the holes, and you want to go through all the holes at once because they will all line up. And the other hole here. And then you can just tie this into a bow and it will hold the whole box closed. So then you can decorate it however you want, whether it's your little gingerbread house for Christmas or you want to do something different with it. You've got your super cute little box. I'll show you one that I've decorated. So this is one that I decorated with the paper pumpkin kit. So it's got the little house on the back, the little house on the front, some embellishments. Oh, some of my pearls are coming off. And then actually the little printed on candies, I'll see if you can see that. I actually put some fine tip glue on there so that those are kind of raised and shiny as well. I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to share this with your friends and all your crafty people. And I'm excited to see what you make. So head over to Creating with the Crafty Medic on Facebook and show us what you make with this pattern. Happy stamping. Bye.